Sacred Beings, and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about Messier 42, 43, and 44. This is a requested topic, and I love when you guys give me things you're interested in because it helps me grow. I love researching and getting deep into the internet to find information to share with you guys that I resonate with or that I think is interesting. So today is one of those topics. If you have other topics that you would like me to research, or you're just curious about, or you want to learn more about, or that you think I will enjoy, please comment below something you would like me to create a video about. I have a lot of stuff in the works, but I always love and appreciate your requests. That being said, if you want to be a part of our spiritual community growing together while on our sacred journeys, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. And I realize that my little logo that's over here doesn't show unless you widen your view on your phone. But it is on if you watch it on TV and on your laptop or computer. But anyways, that was just a little fact. So this open area, I'm going to be showing you pictures of the Messiers and things that we'll be talking about today. So let's get started. So I do want to say that I mentioned Messier 57. I hope that's how you say it. Struggle is real every time, guys. You know, if you've been here, you know I struggle with pronunciation. But anyways, I mentioned Messier 57 in my rare starseed video, which was the Ring Nebula, and I showed you how to look in your birth chart. And if you had a 20 degree in Capricorn in your birth chart, you align with this Messier 57 Ring Nebula rare starseed. So if you don't know how to look at your birth chart and you want to, I have plenty of starseed videos that you can check out. This is the rare one if you want to check out that one. But the Ring Nebula was the original location of all humanoid races before it was destroyed by the Dracos or Draconians. So I went over that in that video. So today, based on that video, I got this request. She requested Messier 43 and 44, but I found information where I had to just go over 42, and you'll see why. So what is a Messier object? So in the 18th century, there was a French astronomer named Charles Messier. He was hunting for comets in the night sky, and he came across 110 different star clusters, nebulas, and galaxies, which he cataloged as Messier objects. So this is what you can find if you want to look at all of them. This is the picture of the catalog that he put them all together. They call it Messier because that's his last name. So all of them are going to be like M and then the number in the order that he came across them in the night sky. Thought that was pretty cool. So let's move on. Messier 43 and 42. So 43 was requested, but 42 is the larger of the nebula of the two. So this is what they look like. And the big one is 42, while the smaller one is 43. And it kind of looks like a tear shape. I just think it looks like a little smaller, like circular oval shape. And that smaller one, 43, is also called De Meran Nebula. But 42, the bigger one, is called the Orion Nebula, or the Great Orion Nebula, because it's in the Orion constellation. So this is when I started really liking this topic, and you'll see why, because we get to talk about Orion. So more about Orion. I have aligned with Orion a couple times, and I'm just excited to share this information. So 42 is located in the Orion's sword, so under Orion's belt. So every time I look in the night sky, I always get drawn to what I thought looked like an arrow, because it had like 3 stars here and then a couple stars here. So, and then little stars like this. So I thought it looked like a little arrow. So this is what it looks like in the night sky. You've probably seen it, definitely Orion's belt. But if you look under Orion's belt and those 3 like straight up and down stars, the middle one is 42, or the Great Orion Nebula. So the Orion Nebula, this is some fun facts real quick before we get deep into the cool stuff. Well, I think it's all pretty cool. So the Orion Nebula was the first nebula ever to be photographed, and it's also the closest nebula, or one of the closest nebulas, to the Earth. It is home to more than 700 stars, and it's birthing new stars all the time. So if you align with Orion starseed, you might be from the Great Nebula. So we'll talk about that because I have the degrees for you. That's right. So you specifically, if in your birth chart, if you have a 22 degree Gemini and 59, that is the exact coordinate of the fixed star, and you want to use my part 3 video, which I'll link above, which uses your sidereal chart, which we've talked about and studied might be the most accurate. But definitely check out that part 3 because it goes over all the charts, and you might want to check all 3 different charts that I talked about. So 22 Gemini 59. It's also called Ennis, Ensis, or Great Nebula, or Great Orion Nebula, which you know now. The Orion Nebula has been identified, or people think that it is identified as a gateway to an infinite realm beyond the physical universe. Some even claim it is the true home of of the angelic forces and source. This is what I found online, guys. So since the Draconians are attempting to conquer the heavens, or the light, they want to intercept the light so that we don't get uplifted and things like that, or raise our consciousness. So since the Draconians are attempting to conquer the heavens, they may have made attempts to enter this eternity gate. This would explain their presence of the Draconians in the Orion constellation to get to that light, which I've talked about a little bit in a different video. I think it was the Anunnaki Draconians, the history, and that talked a lot about how they went to Orion. But listen to this, it gets better. So they also say there's a reptilian gray empire base located somewhere in this cluster, because this nebula is huge. So they could still have a base somewhere. That's also why their presence in history, when you look into it, they're always talked about being associated with Orion. So Earth is now presently attempting to the final integration of these polarities. So the light and dark and evil, balancing that out. We're in that final stage. Some say we've completed it. I don't know. So this explains the strong feelings of connection that many humans on Earth feel towards Orion star system, specifically Orion's belt and the sword, which I always look at, which I thought was very fascinating. So I like how this website, I link everything below in the description, but it's Debbie Solaris. Hopefully that's how you say it. Most of this information I got from her, but I like how she compares the Orion constellation to a melting pot of America has a melting pot of a bunch of different races. So Orion, the Orion constellation is very similar because it has a vast diversity of star beings and species living there, similar to America. So the Orion people, I thought this was interesting. They say that there's 75%, I think it's Vega or vegan star seeds, hybrids, 11% Lyra or Lyran humanoids, and 14% non-human species such as insects, greys, amphibians, and reptilians. They say, this gets cool, the Lyrans that are in Orion constellation look mostly light brown skin. 10% are white or Caucasian, and they look similar to humans with striking eyes. And I had this crazy dream a couple nights ago. I don't know if I want to share it now. I want to do an own video on it. I might do it next. I don't know. But it's where I went to, I was told that I was an alien, and I went to their planet, or my home planet, and everybody looked like humans. So when I read this, and I just had that dream, I was like, whoa. And right after the dream, I think it was the next day, I was outside, and I saw a shooting star, which in my dream is what started this. I saw things in space in my dream flying around. Very crazy. So I'll tell you more about that and when I talk about my dreams, because I need to do another video of dreams I've had. So they also say the most common color of eyes in Orion are brown, and their height is 7 feet tall. I'm only 5'7", but they're saying tall people. But that's only a percentage because they have all different species. And if you're a gray, you're going to be a tiny little guy. So yes, let's move on. Oh, actually, that is all I got for Messier 43 and 42. let's move on to 44, which at first I was not finding a lot of information. But Messier 44 is also called the Beehive Cluster in the constellation Cancer. The location, so I wanted to help you find the location in the sky compared to the Orion Belt or Orion constellation, since that was what we just talked about. So if you're looking at Orion's belt, you want to look northwest or straight left and then north up a little bit. And you want to look for a star system that looks like this, but I think it looks like an upside down martini glass, but it's also called the cradle or Mainer. We'll get to it. Mainer. But yes, so you'll see it. I want to try to look for it tonight because I haven't really looked for this. But this is my suggestion. Orion's belt, northwest, and you should see an upside down martini glass. When you're looking at the martini glass, before it splits into the two stars at the bottom, there's two stars in the middle right before the split, and right in between those to the right is this Messier 44 or M44 Beehive Cluster. So that's where to find this. And you can see it with the naked eye because it's one of the closest ones as well to Earth. And it's one of those ones, and I used to look at this one all the time when I was younger. You have to like unfocus your eyes or not look directly at it, and then you'll see it like come out of your peripheral. Hope that makes sense. So now that you found it, it's also called Praesepe. Praesepe? That's another name for it, or the manger, and closest cluster to Earth, and contains at least 1,000 stars. And this cluster is larger and older than most other nebula clusters. So if you want to know in your birth chart, if you're from this cluster, in your birth chart, it will be 7 degree Leo in Leo 20. 7 degree Leo 20 is the exact alignment. But in my other Starseed videos, you can be 1 or 2 degrees away and still have an affiliation with them. So you've either visited there, you're from there, things like that. You may be from Cancer constellation, so you may be from the whole Cancer constellation, martini glass, if you are 4 through 8. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in Leo, or 13 in Leo, or 1 or 2 away. You may be from here. And I'm telling you this because I have just come across a new type of starseed that I have never heard about. So if you're from here and you haven't resonated with anywhere else, it's because we haven't talked about it, and now you know where you're from. So I'm excited to see. So if you align, this makes you, and I do not know how to say it. I couldn't even find how to pronounce it online, but this is how you spell it, and it's Rocancrean. You're a Rocancrean starseed. I'm so sorry, that's embarrassing. But also known as the Diamond Starseed or the Diamond People. That's much easier to say and remember. So I wasn't finding a lot of information on Messier 44 until I came across that you may be the starseed if you're from the Cancer constellation, which houses the cluster, the Beehive Cluster. So this is super crazy. So you may be from M44 or visited the cluster if you're the starseed. The planetary composition of your home planet, if you are the starseed, is made up of mainly diamonds. And the light energy in its own consciousness bounces off of the diamond core of the planet, infusing it with a consciousness that is more than enlightened. So they're basically saying this is like 7D, 9D vibration if you're from this planet. Super crazy. So the civilization is highly advanced with tall structures made out of diamond energy that make it look like a glittery city. You can only imagine, like high vibrations, glitter everywhere, like sparkling. The beings are extremely loving and angel-like or angelic. There is no sin, hate, greed, or lies, only acceptance, unconditional love, and truth on your home planet. Everyone's job is to learn, rest, and become and stay enlightened. Sounds pretty easy, right? Sounds like heaven, like relaxation. When these starseeds appear to humans, they look like flashes of pure white light, giving off the appearance of white glitter bursting into the air. Or some people confuse them or mistake them for angels, but the only difference, they still look all white and angelic-like, but if you're from here and you're the starseed, you just don't have wings like angels do. That's really the only difference. If you want to know that more traits and characteristics to see if you resonate, so if you don't have them in your birth chart and you want to look at the traits, because when you read the traits, it says you're going to have all of them from birth. You don't grow these traits. It's just in you. So I recommend going to alorasangels.com. I'll put the link in the bio. You can read all of the traits. But I only found 2 articles on these guys. I'm going to link the one that's an actual written out article. It's 7 pages. I think Alora's Angels got her information from here. So I recommend checking out both of them. Definitely the second one has a lot of good information, which I'll get to that. So your main mission is to help others find the divine light within and discover true love within others and themselves. That is your mission. Also to help mankind connect back to source. If you are interested in learning more about the Diamond People, I highly suggest reading the article. This is the article I was mentioning, the Diamond Starseed and the Balance Pillar, because you can be a Diamond Starseed and or a Balance Pillar. So if you want to know what Balance Pillar is, it's super cool. I read the article. The link is going to be below. So that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for requesting this topic. I learned a lot. It was super fun researching it. Please link below what you want to see next. I'm going to be posting a lot more in the community board polls. So would you rather see this one or this one first, a topic? I also have a question I'm going to ask today probably of what you guys think and a suggestion of a playlist, organizing my playlist a little more on my channel. So keep an eye out for that. I don't know if you have to have the bell on or ring that bell to get notified when I post something in the community, because I just got access to that because we are growing, guys. Thank you all the new subscribers that are here. Oh my god, I'm so excited. We are growing so fast. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.